Good morning, everybody. It is Monday. For the record, can you please excuse my bangs? I'm going to get them officially better in 2 weeks, but right now they're under my control, and that is dangerous. So good morning. This is I am the Moth Hunter. Hello, I'm Katie Helmuth Martin, your Moth Hunter for the week, the day, whenever you need. And what I do is I hunt for moths in my home and in homes of my friends, and I live periscope it and put them onto YouTube so that you too can see how to spot moths in your home, because they're pretty common. They are very easy to happen because moths eat grains like rice and oatmeal, and they also eat fibers like cotton and suede, and even though that's not a fiber, that's a skin, but they kind of eat that too. So there's all kinds of things in your house that they can get into. And so I've been asked on Facebook by a friend of mine who saw a moth in her bedroom, and she started freaking out and wondered, what should I do? Should I hire a service? What should I do? And for the record, here's my view on moths. I mean, I know they're like gross to think about, but they're pretty harmless, I think, right? I don't think they carry viruses. I hope not, but they are just kind of creepy because you're accidentally maybe eating their eggs or wearing their eggs or digging around in your purse and there was a nest in there and you never knew. Not that that happened to me. So anyway, should you hire a service was her question. And I don't know. I have never hired a service for pantry moths. I have hired a landscaper to remove a bush that was outside of our house because it had bagworms, which is another type of moth that is like almost impossible to get rid of. So we removed the whole entire bush, and we did spray some pesticide on it because the worms were moving to neighboring bushes. The cocoons were. But for clothing ones, I'm gonna have to say that I'm not sure, because the moths, when they fly around, they're laying eggs, and the eggs are really small for you to see. So there might be sprays you can buy at Home Depot or at Myers or Target or wherever you are that can maybe, it's like an egg killer. I haven't tried that yet, but I know that a lot of people, especially if you have kids, try to avoid spraying like that. You know what I love? Mrs. Myers. I carry this around with me when I'm doing my cleaning blitz, and sometimes I do this on Monday morning because I like to feel clean and fresh around me, and if I didn't have time over the weekend, that's when it happens. But regarding the service, I would start actually with a cleaning service first, because, and I'm going to show you like what I do, what I look for when I'm cleaning, and also I'm going to take you up to my closet where I had a huge infestation, and I'm going to tell you about that and how I spotted it and how I missed it for years. They were just pigging out in there for over a year. It was, I don't know how long. It could have been 2 years. It was gross. But I'm going to show you what to look for. Notice I'm not in the kitchen. I'm in the staircase. I'm in my home. I'm in an area where there's not supposed to be food. But if you have anyone living in your home, especially kids, you probably have food in your living room like I do right now. So I'm going to turn the camera around and show you what I'm looking for as I'm cleaning. I'm taking inventory because I'm going to have to come back and revisit this, or I'm making a mental note for when I have a cleaning service. I want them to go in and make sure to dust those things, and I ask them specifically, go in, remove that box, and please dust that area, because they just might not think to do it, but I know that maybe there have been moth eggs there before or whatever. So let's take a look at stuff I look at. Hello, living room. Okay, so obviously Cheerios on your table is a big draw for moths. Cheerios on your floor that can get under your couch is a draw for moths. Cheerios in your couch would be a draw for moths. Areas like this, like you're going behind, you're going underneath. Looks like it's not super light over here, but inside of our game, like this is our board game area, and the kids will put their own toys in here, and they'll fill up like this bucket, for example. This bucket may have food in here that I never knew was there. So I'm not thinking of looking for food, but especially if you have little hands, you can definitely put stuff here. This is all like drippy. It could be kids' juice. It could be who knows what. So I have made a mental note this morning to do a deep clean of this toy area. and organize it and make it look nice, of course. But the other thing that moths really like is dust. And I don't know if it's because dust, like food can settle in dust. Dust can become very gunky, especially in your kitchen. So we're gonna go upstairs. But on that dust, like in your kitchen, dust that can hold the grease maybe that's settling from your cooking. So here I'm going to take you, because this is my friend Sarah has been asking me, what should I do? And I am revealing to you my closet. I live in a house that has no like major closet. Our house is supposed to be this way, but it's peeled too much. I'm probably going to have to redo that. But our home doesn't have a closet in the master bedroom. It has my dressing room as my closet. So I've taken over, but this closet, what happened was there were moths sitting on the ceiling a lot, and maybe they'd be flying in my bedroom. So when I would look in here into my closet, I could see little dots, and that would be a moth, okay? Now, this used to be filled with stuff. And after a while, you go blind to your own stuff. You just don't see it anymore because it just looks the same. When I finally dug in, I was actually cleaning my friend's house because she had an infestation in her kitchen. And because she was living in her house, she just ignored it and couldn't deal with it. But as an outsider, I could see, oh my gosh, this needs major cleaning. And I dove in and I literally wiped down her entire kitchen and found all kinds of reasons for why the moths were there, which led me to dive into my own closet and my own problem and face my own problem. What I found here was an oatmeal neck wrap. So you get them at like Bed Bath & Beyond. They can be microwaved or cooled to use as a soothing method for your neck and shoulders. I was given one before we moved here to Beacon, so that was 5 years ago, and I never used it. So it just sat there. So when I started digging in, I pulled out actually some lacy like lingerie from my honeymoon. And it unfortunately was covered in sawdust. So when you see a moth infestation, a moth nest, it looks like sawdust. Next to that was this oatmeal neck rub that I had completely forgotten about. That was the nest. And they were all in there. They had turned the whole thing into sawdust. There was little black bugs crawling around in it. And that's where they all were. So I removed everything from this closet, but what I also did, they still didn't go away. So what I also did was I looked at every single piece of clothing in this closet. And what I found was that items that had plastic laundry bags on them, like from the dry cleaner, the laundry bag had gotten sticky with dust. I mean, there was dust, but then whatever else elements in the home had kind of stuck on it. And for whatever reason, the moths found that was a source of food. So they would lay their eggs on it, and moths were just happening. Anything that was really back here in this area, I separate my closet of winter and summer. So I don't rotate things out and take them upstairs to the attic that often, because I have this wide closet for myself and a dresser and then another stack of shelving. The stuff I didn't wear that much, like velvet, that I used to wear pre-kids, I just wasn't wearing it. And especially in the velvet, the moths had settled in and were using that as a food source also. I'm a thrower-awayer, so I threw most of that away. And I hadn't worn it in over 5 years because my life has changed. I don't go to an office anymore. I've been working from home for 10 years. So that it just is what it is. Some of the things I dry cleaned, but not a lot. Even my shoes took a really big hit. And so in my closet, this was actually kind of unfortunately covered with shoes. I just throw my shoes in there, it'd be too fast. I never dusted inside of my closet. So since the moths came, I checked every shoe, and even my favorite lamb's wool boots, my Merrill lamb's wool boots that I'd had for a really long time. Maybe they had a spill of food on them. Maybe there was hot cocoa spilled a long time ago or whatever, but those took a hit, and I saw, you can see that there's either dead moths on there or other signs of that. So I'm a thrower aware. They were really old anyway, so I threw them away. But what I did do is I got bins, and I did put mothballs. Like, this is all my purses because some of those took a hit. You know, well, these are my purses. These are my shoes. I tell the cleaning woman to, like every other time she comes, like to dust in here and to take the vacuum in there. She'll dust on top of the box and around the box, pull the box out, you know, that whole thing. So that's something you want to look for. I'm going to show you something else that is dying for moths to move into it. Take a look. This is my shelving unit that I want to paint, so excuse its nakedness, but two things here. These should be contained in like storage, but for whatever reason they're just hanging out. I mean, whatever, I haven't found the right storage I want for it yet. I bet Smith Banfield could help me. She's on Periscope. Check her out for organization skills. But if this doesn't move, if I never wore these sweaters in the winter and then they stay here during the summer, most likely, I don't know why, but because they're settling and they're not moving, something about that makes the moths like it, and they kind of can move in. Same with this. I can't see what's going on in here. I don't want this to be clear. I want it to look nice, but if I don't wear what's going on, I either need to consciously wash it. I need to just wash all this stuff once a season if I'm not wearing it, or I need to rotate it or something, but I have to keep it moving. Otherwise it becomes a draw for moths. So that is what I wanted to show you here about a closet. Then I'm going to take you to one more place, because after I did all of this work, oh, I want to point out these also. Hanging scarves. They look pretty for me. I like them as decoration. If I don't wear it, what happens? It sits here and it gets dusty. So it either needs to go into the wash every now and then, even though you didn't wear it, or can't have this hanging. So I do wash these. It's time for me to wash and put away these scarves because spring is here. So I'm going to take you to my son's room. It's kind of messy, so don't look at it really. But there were moths coming out of my son's room. Just one or two or whatever. This is also, we don't have a closet in our bedroom, so my husband uses my son's closet, which has no door. Pretend that's a barn door. That's what I want for his stuff. And he also uses drawers. My husband isn't a thrower-outer like I am, so he stores a lot of pants in there, and those pants haven't moved. So what did we learn about clothes that don't move? Moths come. So there's probably a source going on in there. But what I want to show you now, let's see if I can do it. This was this summer that I had the infestation. I went a little crazy, so I found a lot of stuff in my home. And I'm going to try to show you right now. Okay. Okay. Ready? And again, if you're just joining in, this is the Moth Hunter. I am the Moth Hunter. I've dubbed myself the Moth Hunter. And I look for moths because they're kind of easy to find, and I think once you get the nest out, you maybe don't need to hire a service. So I'm all about finding the nest and removing it, and then making the situation so it doesn't happen again. So in my son's room, for some reason, I was going through clothes, and I saw, I'm going to turn this around. You go through clothes, this is my son's clothes. But at the time, this drawer was actually my husband's t-shirts that never moved. It's like a collection of t-shirts that he doesn't wear. In these corners, I hope I don't see them again. Here was that. I saw sawdust. So sawdust can either be from the wood, you know, when you're opening and closing the drawer. In this case, the sawdust was sort of on the clothes, and that's that clue of the moth. And what had happened was there was some wool socks in here. that they had gotten into. So this whole area was infested, and then I could take the drawer out and I would look back there and I would see the little webs, the moth webs. And what I did was I wiped it down with bleach. And note to self, do not put a paper towel with bleach on it in a plastic trash bag, because it gets really hot and like burning to the touch. So that might go up in flames. So Sarah, this was for you. I hope you watched it. I hope you caught it live. Otherwise, I'm going to upload it to YouTube and you can watch, and hopefully this helps your own search in your own closet for the 2 moths that you've seen over the weekend and sent me an email about. So this one's for you. Keep me posted, Sarah, and you've been watching the Moth Hunter. Happy cleaning, happy Monday, and I'll talk to you later. If you always have any questions, you can always tweet them at me at the KJ Pixelated Twitter, and that's about the only way to reach me right now, unless we're Facebook friends. Okay, talk to you. Bye.